Hello, thank you for tuning into this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James13 Wicca, in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The dice and decks I'm using are listed below, and if there's anything, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com, information below. If you're interested in the donation information, that's also below. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and get into your selection. Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Aries? A lot of Earth. Okay, why not? Why not? Double? Okay, we can do that. Whatever. How does that happen? So, all right, so this is your story. There's something about this where I feel I might buy into somebody else's story for a minute here. I might, but in my opinion, Aries does get caught up in it once in a while. You get dragged into somebody's story, you kind of feel trapped in things. But typically it only lasts so long, and then Aries goes, wait a minute, wait, what? What's going on here? What am I doing? No, absolutely not. And then snaps into focus and goes, nope, and fixes it. And that might be what's going on here. Because I do feel like we all have our moments. We get sucked into things, and then all of a sudden we're like, wait, what? Like, wait, what? What am I going along with? How did I get here? Why did I think this was a good idea? And it's like, no, we got to fix this. I'm not an I'm a Pisces, but I have some strong Aries placements. So I'm kind of seeing where this is going, but let's just see. Whatever you're a part of currently, you did decide to be there. You thought it was worth it. And it doesn't mean long run that it's not. There was a lot that I thought, if I put the work in, I gotta look at this a little closer. Oh, they're pomegranates. They're pomegranates. That's not what they looked like without my glasses, but I'll put them up there. That's totally not what they looked like without my glasses. And I was just like, what in the love? I never saw that before, but that's fine. These are good. This is fine. There was a lot of pleasure, a lot of promise of the future, a lot of things that could come out of this situation. I simply had to start it and then build from whatever I found. I would start the situation, whatever came out of it, I would then build from there, and there could be a lot of possibilities. And it seemed like that was good. The current energy, there's a lot of earth. A lot of earth. I'm not really, it's a little weird. I gotta be honest. It feels a little odd because I almost feel like I'm trying to agree with it. It's like having that job that it's kind of like, it's not a bad job. I make a good amount of money, for example, maybe I'm happy with that. Things look right, it looks good on paper, but there's just certain things that it just doesn't work for me. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but this is how it works, and this is how normal people make a living, so maybe this is how I need to do it. It kind of has that feel to it. Like, I'm trying to get myself to like it. I don't really like it, but I'm trying to get myself to like it, and I'm like, yeah, no, this is normal, or no, this is how it normally goes, and this is how stability is attained and kept. There's stress here, but I feel like I'm trying to get myself to fit. I'm holding myself back. I am definitely holding myself back in this situation. There's a lot of restrictions. If it is a business thing, like a work situation, they're showing me things where I've never done well in the situations where management likes to control people and tell you, like, they like to control way too many things every now and then. Like, I'm that person that, like, when they try to get you to wear a certain color, I'm like, no. I don't like that. If you're paying for it, if you're paying for the uniform, that's one thing. Otherwise, no. Or, like, they try to dictate what you will and won't do on your lunch. I had that happen once, and I walked right away from that person. Of course, you know, you don't make the best friends with management when you defy them, but at the same time, it might be something where I'm allowing, there could be a controlling person that I'm playing into this stuff, thinking, well, this is how I get this job, this is how I keep this job, this is how I move forward in this job. It might be something like that, because I feel like I'm holding the ground, but there's other things I want from it. And I'm trying to be at peace with something, but I'm like, I really don't like this. I feel like if this is a job thing, especially, because this happened a lot for me, I would think of this a lot. I'd be like, if this was in everyday life, I wouldn't put up with this crap. But because I have a paycheck, the only reason I'm even, like, listening or paying attention to this person is because there's a dollar sign behind this. Otherwise, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't even spit on them in the street if they were on fire. And that's very brutal, I know, but that's sometimes where it goes. Sometimes where it goes. Take it where you got to take it. So going forward, you're putting in the effort. You're just keeping moving. You're trying not to overthink it. You're just going to try to keep moving. Do what you got to do. Trying to be like, well, this is what it is. I'm just trying to keep moving. Try to not let it bother me. Try to keep things going. There's things here I want to keep, and I'm working to keep those things. Doesn't have to be a work situation. Could be something else. But whatever you're dealing with, you're trying to make it work. You're trying your best to make it work. And you're putting in a lot of mental energy to create opportunities and possibilities to make it more palatable for what you need it to be, where applicable. There are a lot of rules in this situation, but you're working with it the best you can. I really don't like that card right now. It's not typically a bad card. I don't really like it, though, for some reason. I'll find out in a minute why. The Tower, Ace of Pentacles. I know it's one red eye and one blue eye, but the blue eye looks worse than the red eye on this one to me. The red eye almost looks like it's a closed eye. The Tower is showing up here with the Ace of Pentacles. They're looking to create more. Whatever you're dealing with is looking to create more with you, but it's a very controlling energy, a very, very controlling energy. It's, I don't know. I think of Aries as a lot more free than this energy would allow, but somehow if this reading is hitting, you've convinced yourself to go along with it this far, and now they're going to try to upgrade it a bit. It comes in with a weird sell. Could be business, could be pleasure, whatever it is. Comes in with a weird sell, and it sounds like it's like, oh, that could be good. I don't really know, but it sounds like it could be good. It's the Page of Pentacles, which is a good start, but I won't know till I'm there type of energy. And it's kind of like, I'll go along with that for now, and we'll see what comes later, and maybe more opportunities are coming in. It's a good sell. It makes you feel like there's more opportunities than maybe really are there. Like, that's what I mean by a good sell, which maybe I should say it's more of a misleading sell. And I feel like they're warning. They're like, you don't want to get over bonded to this too soon, too quickly. If you don't have to, like, if this was like getting engaged to somebody, they're saying you don't have to go through with a quick marriage. Like, I think, I could be wrong, but I think, like, in a standard, like, isn't it like a year and a half or a little bit over a year? Typically, after somebody gets engaged, they set the date, and it's like a little bit over a year or something like that. Is that how they usually do it? I'm guessing. Sometimes it's longer. I've heard people take up to 5 years. I've heard some people take 3. 3 seems like fair. But they're saying if it was a marriage situation, they're saying it doesn't have to be a quick connection. Or if it's a contract, like, I would push off the contract as long as you can without it being suspicious. I recommend pushing it back so you can get more time to think, because whatever this is, they're saying it sounds really good in the beginning, but I'm getting push it back for a bit. because things are going to evolve from this situation. Things are going to start coming forward after this next evolvement. This next evolution is going to present a lot of changes, and that's when things are going to get really hot for you. Because I'm getting, if you push it back, things are more in your control. That puts you more in the strength position, and you're going to notice some changes here. It's going to give you a time to go, wait a minute, before I, commit to this contract or commit to this marriage or whatever it is, let me look a little deeper. Let me just soak this in a little bit more, because things are going to start to feel different. Things are going to start to change. And I'm getting like, that's what I'm starting to feel it. That's what I'm starting to really be like, wait a minute. I've been working with this energy for this long. I've been going with this energy for this long, and now I might get locked in for longer. And how long do I want to do this for? And that's where the Ten of Swords actually shows up. Does this really work for me? Does this really kind of link up with where I want to be? And I feel like I might start bringing forth some questions from this moment. Like, okay, I see what we want to do, but this is how I want it to go. I want some changes. Can we actually make these changes happen? Something like that comes forward. The passion comes forward. I feel like once I start looking at this in a different perspective, I'm like, I don't know if I can do this the same way it's been going. And I put out some energy there. I put out some questions. And I get the other side matches it with some King of Swords energy, which is ironic because this actually is working to your benefit. If, for example, if there's a contract coming out of this situation, you can change that contract to be more serving to you. So if it's a business contract, you can change that easily with whatever served you and omit things or keep things out of your way that you don't want there. Even if it's a marriage contract, prenups are a real thing. You know what I mean? Prenups are a real thing. So, I don't know. I'm not afraid of a prenup myself, but, what do you got to do? Because I get through that, you can get success. It's conflict. Aries isn't usually afraid of conflict, but through this conflict, that's where you can get success and you can get more security. It does say financial health here. I'm getting security. Some version of security can come out of this. Some security where it's like, all right, I think this is more, now that I've kind of put this in better alignment for me, I feel like this can go more my way. I feel like this can be more sustainable over time. Even though there's been a lot of boundaries, I feel like by editing the contract and standing up for what I want, I was able to adjust these boundaries to accommodate more of what I want. It's like before I was landlocked. Now I have part of my boundary is over here at the ocean, and I can go out there and explore on the ocean a little bit. That makes things a lot better for me. That makes it more breathable for me. Maybe that's better for me. I feel like the more you push out whatever this contract is, the more you push it back and put in negotiation time, you can really end up being more in control of this situation. And I feel like this situation overall is better with the more control on your side. I don't mean that you have to be in total control. I know it's the King of Cups, but you don't have to be in total control of the situation, but you need your fair share of it at the very least if you're going to really thrive here. Are we good? I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.